This video contains or may contain spoilers for Hollow Knight. One of the very best things about Hollow Knight is its soundtrack. Every song is perfectly fitting for the part of the game that it's heard in. With a total of 41 tracks across the Standard and Gods and Nightmares editions of the soundtrack combined, it can be hard to pick out only a certain number of favorites. After thinking about it a lot, however, I've managed to narrow down my top 12 tracks from the Hollow Knight OST. Number 12, Crystal Peak. This track's industrial sound fits the area perfectly. It has kind of a strange feeling to it, but so does this area of glowing crystals. The song starts out slow, then picks up speed. The track is rounded off nicely by the bass coming in at the end, the part that plays during action scenes in Crystal Peak. Number 11, Kingdom's Edge. This song really captures the feeling of suddenly stumbling into a very different and unfamiliar place, which is exactly what happens when the knight arrives in Kingdom's Edge for the first time. It complements the landscape of towering cliffs and falling white ash. It almost sounds kind of dreamy and reminds you that you're in an ancient, faraway place from the rest of the kingdom. Number 10, Hornet. This theme perfectly encapsulates Hornet's personality and battle style. The sounds mimic how she's always nimbly darting around the landscape and battle arena. It sounds very bright and has a fast tempo, filling you with the same kind of fighting spirit that this warrior shows in combat. Number 9, Pale Court. Although this track never actually appears in the game, it's still noteworthy and deserves its spot on the soundtrack. It sounds truly regal and builds upon the White Palace's music spectacularly. It makes one think of the royal court of Hallownest at its height, something never directly encountered in the game but still worth remembering, like the track itself. Number 8, The White Lady. As with Hornet, this theme fits the character well. It sounds gentle and lovely and just a bit mournful. It goes well with the scenario of the knight meeting their biological mother, Hallownest's long-lost queen, for the first time, in a brief moment of peace for the knight, while they still have more left to do. Number 7, Queen's Gardens. This is one of my favorite areas of the game, and one thing contributing to that is the music. It has that sort of royal tone alluding to the queen, but it also sounds a little sad to reflect the garden's abandoned and overgrown state, as well as suspenseful because of the hostile creatures having taken over. I think it also has the feeling of approaching the end of something, seeing as this is typically a later game area. Number 6, Soul Sanctum. The choice of an organ as the main instrument in this track was an interesting one. There's also the leitmotif of the City of Tears, the larger area that the Sanctum is a part of. The song gives the feeling of exploring an unknown and imposing place. The best part by far is the Soul Master's battle theme, which makes up the latter part of the track. The strings and choir vocals come in at just the right moment. Number 5, False Knight. This song has a great sense of both urgency and heroics, befitting of a battle where the knight is facing a dangerous enemy larger than themselves, dodging attacks as well as dealing their own. Like Hornet's theme, this one always puts me on edge when I listen to it, but in a good way. It's a song I'd recommend to someone new to Hollow Knight or its soundtrack to get a feel of both. You don't need to beat the False Knight to beat the game, but you do have to beat the Watcher Knights, which are fought to this theme. So you're gonna hear it at least once in any playthrough. Number 4, Radiance. In terms of final boss battle themes, this one goes all out. It's grand, epic, and cinematic. It really makes you feel like this is it. Everything comes down to this, putting the player in the right mood for a battle of these proportions. It starts out explosively and only keeps building from there, right to its ultimate conclusion. The music gives one the feeling of ascending upwards, just like the Radiance herself does during her fight, as well as the Night and the Void with her. Number 3, Sealed Vessel. This track is made up of several parts that encompass the events before, during, and after this battle. At first there is the suspense and danger as this boss reveals its strength, the sadness as they hurt themselves on purpose, the drama of seeing the Knight become the new vessel in either of the endings where this happens, and also the bittersweetness of the Dream No More ending cutscene, even though this can only be attained from beating the Radiance. It is more fitting to have the last part as the ending to this track rather than the Radiance track, however. Number 2, Green Path. This track gives a sense of wonder and curiosity with a hint of mystery as well. The different instruments go well with the vivid and lively atmosphere of Green Path. It's different than the soundtrack heard thus far, just like Green Path is such a different area from where the Knight has been up to this point in the game. It really just makes you want to explore, discover, and go on adventures. The action theme at the end rounds it off perfectly. Number 1, City of Tears. This song is a special one, with the piano notes reminiscent of falling raindrops and the soaring soloist vocals invoking a sense of beauty, with the strings then picking up right where the vocals left off. This track is just as marvelous and magnificent as the city's decor and architecture. You admire the music just as you're admiring the place itself. It's appropriately titled City of Tears because I honestly feel like I could cry every time I listen. It's just mesmerizing. So what did you think of my list? What are your favorite tracks from the Hollow Knight soundtrack? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it, check out my other Hollow Knight videos, and subscribe to my channel for more videos about Hollow Knight and other media to come. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.